If you have been on the fence about upgrading to the GoPro Hero 11 Black, then this video might be for you. My name is Billy Busby, and today we are going to be going through the GoPro Hero 11 Black, putting it through some tests, and just kind of reviewing the overall camera. So I want to put the camera through some tests and situations that I would normally use it in. Time lapses, vlogging, slow motion, action-esque shots. So before we get rolling, I've got a couple of points. First is all of the video in this video is going to be straight out of the GoPro Hero 11 Black, except for video of the actual camera itself. Obviously, I have to use another camera to take video of the camera. Second is all of the audio and all of the video is not going to be graded or sweetened up at all. It's all going to be straight out of the camera. I want to try to keep it all as natural as possible with very little fancy editing or anything like that. The only thing that I am really using that is like not standard or most people wouldn't have access to maybe is this anamorphic lens adapter. Got the sunrise done. Now I'm trying to get out of here before my truck gets towed. Met a new friend who told me all kind of shit and talked my ear off. So anyway, hopefully that stuff came out all right. All right, so this is that lens width test that I've been wanting to do. So I'm starting with this anamorphic lens that I just absolutely love. Obviously, I've used it a lot in the video. Next up is the new hyperview mode, hyperview lens. That's so wide, it's crazy wide. Look at the tables. Next is the super view. And it's funny, this dog chases this bird coming up here. I wouldn't have got that if I didn't have super view. And next we're just in normal wide. And then this is linear. This is what I have to use the anamorphic lens. So I do want to correct something real quick, because when I was doing the width test, I never did one that was in the full frame mode, and I walked away from there. So kind of not what I wanted to do. I meant to do the full frame from the same spot. All right, let's see what vlogging on the anamorphic lens is like. How is it with the walking? Any weird stuff going on with the corners? I'm in linear, no horizon lock. Should look pretty good, especially now that the sun's coming up. All right, so I want to go through this setup real quick. I've got the anamorphic lens on with the media mod. I've turned hyper boost off because it was trying to correct too much and I was getting some of the lens in there. But I'm walking a little bit slower than I was walking. How is that stability? I'm on linear mode because wide is too wide and it shows the edges of the lens. Hopefully the audio is okay. All the worst noise is coming from over there. For this shot, I forgot to put the original GoPro lens back on, so there's nothing in front of that camera. And then, man, this shot right here has just sold me on this anamorphic lens and really showcases what the GoPro is capable of in the right situations. It just looked amazing right here. I couldn't believe it. And then right after that, I apparently forgot to turn that boost, or maybe it's the horizon leveling. I'm not sure what's causing that, but you could see the lens in the corner of the shot there. And then I was just trying to test out this slow motion anywhere I could. All right, back to the natural GoPro audio. One of the problems with trying to test this thing is trying to remember all of the different modes. Like, there's so much going on here. So they've got the 3 color modes. You got flat, normal, and GoPro, I think is the other one. And then you've got low, medium, and like sharp, high sharpness. And then you got all the different lenses. And then I've got attachments. I've got the media mod on right now. It's a lot to try to keep track of. Complicated little machine. So I thought this sign would do a good job of showcasing the colors, and we're going to start here with this flat color profile. I don't really notice a huge difference from previous models, but flat is a tried and true color profile. The natural color profile is the newest color profile and arguably the best. In my opinion, I think it's really good. It's really pushing DJI's color science. And then this is called Vibrant now for some reason, and it used to be called like GoPro, but I think this is like their natural GoPro color. I probably shouldn't have said natural there, but this is like the old school GoPro super saturated color. And I think I went back to flat there. I'm not 100% sure. And then I think this is all in natural. But man, just what a beautiful place that is over there. That, let's see how it does with the like HDR. How is that? Other than me looking very haggardly. Let's try it one more time. There we go. The sun is still pretty low. I'm trying to look in the screen, but I can't really tell what I'm looking at. So, all right, I gotta find a bathroom. So right now I'm on the normal lens, linear plus horizon lock, and I've got the boost on. So that should be pretty stable. I don't know how the audio is. There's a lot of cars running, a lot of construction back there. But how does that look? And I'm walking with this on the tripod and the media mod, extended out maybe 18 inches or so. But how does that look? Stable? It looks like it's bouncing around a lot in the screen for me, but I remember one of my buddies taught me, it's like, what do you want to bounce? Do you want to bounce, or do you want your background to bounce? So, all right, I'm on the same settings. The media mod is pointing out toward the street. I'm kind of wanting to see what the HDR is like the dynamic range. Bright sky, I'm in the shade. Things like that. Noise is going on back there. So pretty down there. Well, I'm on full frame. I think it's color profile, either flat or natural. I don't know. But I want to do full frame because I want to see if I can make it like into a vertical video. I'm on full frame. I think it's color profile, either flat or natural. I don't know. But I want to do full frame because I want to see if I can make it like into a vertical video.
Yeah, you found a stick.
I see that.
Isn't that funny? So can you see what's going on? Just so you can't.
I can't. I'm hoping. This thing is so wide. It's got like a 12 millimeter field of view, so it's just huge.
Wow.
So I'm sure it's getting him, my feet, maybe your feet.
And it's called GoPro?
Yeah. Well, there you go. I just wasted like 20 minutes retracing my steps, tearing my back apart. It's right there. Cool. All right, let's go try the underwater stuff, and then we got to go back and recharge some batteries. All right, rolling super view, and I'm still nervous about putting my brand new camera right into the water. Yeah. It's the 11, so when they just came out. Man, I don't know what GoPro put on their touch screen, but I was shocked. Like when you pull that camera out of the water, the screen was still responsive to touches, and hardly any water stuck to obviously the lens. A little bit does when I go back, but there was nothing to the back. Like the touch screen still worked. It's like still hurting my head that worked so well. All right, how's that audio now? So I'm on full frame, 24 frames a second. Let's see how it does now. So I've got to say, man, that's pretty damn impressive. So I pulled this thing right out of the water and was able to immediately start messing with the touchscreen on the back. No issues. It was super responsive. Been wanting to do these ride tests, and I've really wanted to do them on the e-bike, mostly because I want to see what that compression looks like once it gets uploaded to YouTube, Facebook, or whatever. Because what I've noticed with previous GoPros, and maybe it was an issue with the 10-bit versus 8-bit color, but what I noticed was like the image really starts breaking apart when it's moving, and it doesn't do that, you know, on the home computer or whatever, like wherever the native file lives at. It doesn't look like that, but by the time it gets uploaded and compressed, it starts to fall apart. So I really wanted to test that out on the e-bike because it goes a little bit faster, right? I'm getting ready to go on a bike ride, but I want to use these ND filters for the GoPro, and I put them on before, and it doesn't fit as snug on the 11 as it did on the 9, so it makes me worry. But so right now this is without it. That's with it. All right, with and it's an ND8. That's the lowest one I've got. Without. With. All right, so this is a Hyperview with the ND8 on. So my final thoughts is no camera's perfect, and neither is the GoPro Hero 11 Black. You have to kind of understand what you're getting yourself into when you're getting an action cam. These days they do so much more, but typically with an action camera, you're getting that super wide field of view, you're getting high frame rates, and you're using it to go on adventures and stuff like that with, right? Poochie. Poochie, poochie, poochie. Poochie, 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 poochie. Watch out, you're gonna get run over, buddy. Stop. Stop, buddy. Come here. All right. He's keeping up with me. All right, I left him. With that being said, the typical criticisms of action cams is applicable here. So if you're out riding your bike and you run across something that's like off in the distance, you can see it normally with your eyes, you're not going to be able to zoom in with this thing. I mean, it's nothing new, right? I mean, it's just not. You know, smartphones are rapidly closing that gap between, you know, the old version of a smartphone and the old version of action cams. And hell, nowadays they're even waterproof and they're better at that heat dissipation issue. But with that being said, there is still something to be said about having a dedicated camera. You know, if you're out riding your bike, which that's usually what I'm using my action cam for, is I'm going to have my phone on, but it's going to be, you know, telling me route directions, or, you know, I'm going to be getting text or whatever. That phone's doing a lot is the point. And to have a dedicated camera just frees up your mind a little bit, frees up your phone for other stuff, and it's easy. The GoPro, you can just hit the record button and it starts recording. So. A six-pack, but I really don't want to be carrying all that shit around. All right. So as of today, my biggest problem with this camera is trying to remember what does what in each mode. And it's hard to say it because it's like, it is frustrating. It really is. It's a legitimate feeling, but it's hard to say that that's a problem because like it does so much, right? This camera does so much. It's a Swiss Army knife of cameras right now. And it's just getting your mind in that space of, okay, I need to be in this mode on this setting to get the most out of it, right? And that's just the filmmaker, videographer talking at me. So, you know, for the most people, the average person, I guess, I don't want to say average, nobody's average, but for most people, you could just use that auto mode, right? The easy mode, and just hit record and you're good to go. You don't even have to worry about it. And I heard this morning actually that the GoPro desktop app, maybe even the mobile app, they're going to start letting you go back in and change the lens that you chose. So like right now I'm shooting this in linear, and let's say in a month from now I'm like, man, I don't like that shot. Let me see what it looks like in super view. I can just hit a button and it's going to automatically go to super view. So, I mean, it's almost magic, right? It's alien stuff at this point. So it's not only just the tech, right? Like the camera's fun, man. It's got a bunch of fun new modes on it. You got the light painting mode, you know, you've got the vehicle light mode, you've got the starry trails, which that's going to take some getting used to, and it's going to be trial and error on trying to get that right. But it's just a fun camera to use. It's got a bunch of fun features, and there's something to be said about that. Another thing for people in my field, videography and cinematography even, the biggest complaint with GoPro in the past has been their colors are just way too saturated. You know, that's why they started using that flat color profile. But man, with this one, I think they finally hit a sweet spot. So not only with the flat, but that natural color looked great on the editor. That natural color looks great. I have no idea what's going to happen to it once I upload it. I'm very interested to see that. But right now on the editor, I was even talking to a former boss of mine last night about it. And I was like, man, this thing looks absolutely amazing. You know, like on the raw files, it looks amazing. I can't believe it's coming out of this GoPro. All right, this is gonna be an audio test. I'm gonna put my bag over here though, so I know where to go to for each clip. I think right here would probably be somewhat decent. All right, so I'm on linear mode. I'm probably 6-7 feet away from the camera right now. This is an audio test with the wireless lavalier hooked up to the media mod. And there's wind going on right now. There's a whole bunch of people over there making noise. The airport's right behind me. All right, let's see what's next. All right, I'm roughly in the same spot. This is with the media mod shotgun mic on. And I just want to see what that sounds like right here. Same situation, there's a ton of people right there. The wind's blowing from my right to left, and the airport's back there. So how does it sound? All right, I'm roughly in the same spot. This is like the mic that I use on a lot of my handheld run and gun documentary stuff. That's the natural onboard mic from the camera itself. I have no idea if you can hear me. It's pretty windy. That plane really revved up back there right now. All right, another thing too to keep in mind is the GoPro has all of these crazy accessories now, right? This anamorphic lens here. With the media mod, you can connect wireless microphones to it. There's a ton of different things. They have this one that's like a minimum focal distancing lens adapter. There's just a ton of stuff. And no, you don't need any of it, right? You don't need any of that stuff. But what it does do, it adds that unique individuality to your videos, right? It makes your stuff gonna look different than my stuff versus these people over here. And that's something to be said about that as well. And now that GoPro has been around for so long, I mean, anything you can pretty much think of, then they have it out there to help you create whatever you want to create. So it's not perfect, but it's as close to perfect for an action cam that I've seen so far. And I hope that makes sense. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you so much. I appreciate you watching it. And look at my channel, see if any of the other videos on here interest you at all, and consider subscribing. Take care, guys. Peace.